Jiminy Cricket, the greatest artist of all time. Wow.
The Beatles.
Oh, God.
That's to be
Michael has to be one of them.
Michael and Elvis.
On my list, I'm going to name two. Aretha Franklin and Marvin Gaye. There's so many people. I hate that I had to say two, but it's still two.
Next up, an artist who dropped out of high school at 16 to record his very first album. He is one of the few hip-hop stars to have hits in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. At number 92, LL Cool J.
Come on, man. And with the local DDC news.
You know, there's some of us that remember when hip-hop was becoming itself. And then one day you saw LL Cool J.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
He had the muscles, and he had the Kango. Oh, please, he set it off. He's an architect.
Competition's paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out.
He believes in himself. He's charming. He's smart. He looks good. He's incredible line.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
He worked hard on stage. Like, he would go out there, he put a sweat. Even though your girl might go and go, oh, I love him. You couldn't be mad because you couldn't say he was whack.
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call.
I love LL. He's the best lip licker ever. It looks like he has on lip balm like 24/7. Like he probably wakes up and his lips are all just shiny and juicy.
When I first heard the song, I Need Love, I was a little girl, but you couldn't tell me he was not singing to me.
I've come to realize that I need true love.
You out here who tried to diss LL when he did I Need Love, get the out.
I love you.
If you could do a song and get hit with panties, come on now. I wish I wrote it.
He came from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s and always had hit records. LL Cool J, the rapper, to LL Cool J in movies and TV. That's my man till we die. Incredible.
Put your hands in the air like this here.
From back in the day till now, I love hip-hop and I always will.
Cut it up for me one time.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
Green Day, like, brought punk rock back in a huge way in the early 90s.
I am one of those melodramatic fools.
And as soon as Dookie came out, I immediately went out and bought everything that I could find on them, and they have never disappointed me.
Back in the day, there was one concert I was out and like yelling and he spit on me and I was like, yeah, that's the coolest ever. And then I got kicked in the head by a stage diver. So I don't remember the rest of the show.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road.
Every young person that's had any teenage angst or felt rejected or felt bored or felt understimulated in their life at any time can relate to Green Day.
Something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
He's really a talented writer, and it's really a strong suit of his that became more obvious even as I think his career went on.
With American Idiot, like, they went up to this other level as a band.
Don't wanna be an American idiot.
It was a band that were making a political statement, and that was the real moment where people got Green Day.
They were able to translate the album into this Broadway show. It just seemed natural.
They managed to like keep that work ethic going and also that sort of musical idealism going, even though now their songs are on Broadway. It's kind of crazy. Nobody else has really had a punk rock journey like Green Day.
Green Day, they're a career band. They can make albums till the day that they die and they'll be successful.
He's this Buddy Holly? Dirty guy, yeah, with the Buddy Holly glasses, and he called himself Elvis. And now he's like this rock legend.
He's one of those guys that writes a song at breakfast, writes a song at lunch and at dinner, and they're all good.
Elvis Costello is probably the best lyricist in rock and roll. He is so direct and straightforward and so heartfelt at the same time.
Elvis Costello is one of those guys where he's such an incredible writer that you don't think of him in a genre. He can play super upbeat rock band music with tons and tons of lyrics. He can play very emotional ballads. He's just an iconic artist.
I do believe that all along I've been a ballad singer who could sing rock and roll, not the other way around.
That guy just had it. He was the guy that blew everybody else away. He's singular.
My aim is true.
The Beastie Boys! They're one of the greatest and most talented groups of all time.
We thought, who the hell were these white guys doing this crazy ass hip hop?
You gotta fight for your right to party.
They weren't a white hip-hop rap group trying to be a black hip-hop rap group. Beasties were real.
Beastie Boys, they're just a super band. They just don't stop at hip-hop. They do a lot of hardcore music, jazz music, you name it, like they're all over the place.
They break trends and set trends, and they've always been a huge inspiration to us.
They've always managed to reinvent themselves, whether it's musically or their image or any part of that.
We're 25 plus years on from License to Ill. Nobody expected them to hang around that long, let alone take up this activist role. And that's what makes the Beastie Boys so interesting.
If you love them, you're going to love them forever. You have all their records. You can't front on Beastie Boys.
The Bee Gees? You talk about the Gibbs and all that?
That Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, you hear it so much that you forget how phenomenal it is. I mean, even today you hear it and it's just amazing.
They're one of those bands that unfortunately has gotten the short end of the stick because they kind of invented something that was disco. And then everybody forgot about the whole repertoire of what they had been.
They're just incredible songwriters, and that's what I love. The most perfect, beautiful pop songs.
To love somebody.
The songs are just absolutely classic.
When I first heard the Bee Gees was probably Saturday Night Fever. That I mean, when I can really think of like, okay, who are these guys? And their hair was incredible too.
They look like Uber dudes. They got their suits, their chest hair, medallions, man rings, beards. Then they start singing, and you're like, those ladies sound lovely.
I remember buying that 45 and playing it over and over again, and I have to admit that, I'm sorry. As hardcore as I try to come off at times, How Deep Is Your Love was in regular rotation.
On the school bus, the Bee Gees would come on, and half the bus would be like, yeah, and the other half would be like, ugh.
Some people hated the Bee Gees disco hits because for some people it's fun to hate things that are popular.
You listen to the music and it just makes you want to boogie. Sadly, we lost Morris, but Barry and Robin Gibb are actually talking about getting back together.
For the Bee Gees, things have completely come around. Now I think the Bee Gees are universally loved.
Love the Bee Gees. Their music lives on forever.
Will your favorite artist make the list, or will you be venting on our message board when this is all over? Stick around to find out.
His voice is the best voice in pop of any guy I know.
They are an iconic hip-hop group, and
They were a megaphone for society.